Today we're debating on which Texas Chainsaw is better, the 1974 original or the 2003 remake.
Now, I understand that there's a lot of people that talk about how horror remakes are trash and they never do it right, but 2003 Texas Chainsaw is different. It's a really good remake, and I'm going to explain why it's better than the original.
And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to cram Texas Chainsaw 1974 down Greyson's mouth and make sure that he knows that nothing will ever beat this immortal classic because of when it was made, how the film stock looks, how the soundtrack is, how terrible the acting is, and how meandering and wandering the plot is. There is no other movie in the history of horror cinema that feels so much like a bad dream. Whenever you get into this van with these kids, it already looks like a snuff film because it's you know, we're just sitting in the van with the camera and it looks like an old grainy piece. The audio is like kind of blown out and uneven, and we're just in it with these kids. So with that, it feels like you're kind of watching one of the cameras from an invisible another invisible character that's on the bus, right? So that makes it feel like a snuff film, right? The way they talk to each other, whether it was because I guess the script was like so loose, but like they're just kind of like dawdling around, and it's like, oh yeah, I grew up around here. What's your zodiac sign? And then Francis is just like, let's let him pee. He falls down.
God, Francis is the worst.
Sorry to interrupt the video, but there's something I gotta say real quick. We're gonna call Franklin Francis. It's a little boo-boo we did, but I wanted to go ahead and put this in the video real quick so that we don't have a billion comments. Enjoy the video though.
Francis is the worst.
He's the worst.
And there's sideburns, and the guy with the glasses, the driver of the van, he like barely talks at all. He has like 7 lines in the entire movie.
And one of them is just screaming.
Yes. While I'm watching it, I'm like, where are they going? I don't know what they're doing.
Why are they showing that corner filled with daddy long legs? What's going on here?
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just the most. I remember the first time I saw that as a kid, I went, oh man, is this about spiders? Like,
yeah.
Are they gonna kill these spiders with chainsaws? What happens?
So it all feels very scrapped together, probably because it was, or Tobe Hooper's a genius.
Yes.
Could be a little bit of both, right? But we get to the hitchhiker, right? And I think this is where I was like, man, this is like a nightmare. Reminded me a lot of Silent Hill or a lot of JRPGs that are horror themed, or even Nicky in Obsession recently. He's just acting so crazy. There's like this weird line of like, that's really a terrible performance, but is it also perfect? So as good as the cinematography and stuff is, the violence is really crazy because this is not a very bloody movie at all. There's not a lot of gore. Like when Francis gets gored, how easy he just kind of slides the chainsaw into his body. It's very macabre in that you would imagine that's how easy it would be for a saw to go through skin and bone.
If you look back at it, the most violent scenes of the original Texas Chainsaw it's either whenever she's completely messed up at the end of the movie after she jumps through the window, or it's the girl getting put on the meat hook.
Yeah. And it's really just like a lift, a cutaway, and then she's on it, right?
Yep.
More than anything, the scariest part of the entire movie is the grandpa, who you think is a dead body for like 15 minutes. For about 5 or 10 minutes, it's just the family running around the house and like basically doing death chores and getting dinner ready for Sally. And Sally's just kind of sitting there, and we're just kind of living in the space with them. They're not really doing anything. There's not like a lot of action. It's just like, hey, just kind of sit and listen to how they communicate with each other. And then we get to that dinner table, the older man there, he's very like authoritative. And then the more they talk about killing Sally, he kind of breaks down into a kid, just like the hitchhiker. He gets like less mature. He kind of loses his authority because he gets excited about like the kill that's going to happen. The biggest thing, there's 2 huge things here that really sell it as the dream nightmare for me, is we've all had the nightmare where we can't go anywhere. where we're stuck, or it's like you're running from something, but your feet are in quicksand. And especially with Sally after Francis's death, when she's running, the way she runs is so dramatic and extra and overly animated. It makes me feel like she's running through like a 6-inch trench of wet sand. That cool, I think it's a dolly shot, but when she's running down the driveway and she's running like all slow and stuff, and the hitchhiker's also running like a moron, right? He's just like,
He's serpentining behind her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, no matter how slow she or he runs, he's still gonna catch up to her. And I think that's like very nightmare-like. And even in the woods after the Francis scene, they have this awesome... I was curious if they threw like the night glow stick juice all over Leatherface and his chainsaw, because he glows in the dark. That he's got like a lime green tinge to him in like a dark blue woods, right? And it looks so good. The number one reason that Texas Chainsaw 74 is better than 2003 and why you're totally screwed.
I know what you're about to say.
No, this is why you're totally screwed, man. This trucker. This guy is big. Okay. First, he destroys the hitchhiker.
There's 18 wheels on that truck, and the hitchhiker hits at least 8 of them.
Yeah. Not since Bride of Chucky, there was not a better Mack truck plowing over some white dude. Okay. This trucker gets out. As a kid, I was like, this guy's badass. As an adult, I'm like, holy cow, look at this guy. He grabs a crescent wrench and he freaking tosses this thing. It makes, Leatherface cut his own leg and stuff. The final shot of her getting in the truck was like the nail in the coffin from like, this is the greatest. This 2003 is not better than this for this reason. It takes her about 6 years to get in the back of this truck when she gets up to the edge of it.
I do want to I'll give a point to the original on this. The guy that's driving the pickup truck, he turns around like a boss because he hits that ditch and he swings back around to grab her. Oh my God, that guy is a hero. And how he's looking back in the truck while he's driving away.
Yeah.
Oh,
man. There's only one other horror movie I can think of where I have that much anxiety about like, get in, and it's that Brie Larson movie, Room. There's a scene where the kid is making a break for it, and he's running up to her for a stranger to save him, and the guy who's kidnapped him is like coming for him, and it's like, oh, just get to the stranger, just get to the person, please, God. It's super intense, but I remember that intensity as a kid, and it hasn't faded, as goofy as some of the movie might be.
It is definitely a highlight of 70s horror for sure, because a lot of them are kind of hard to go back to, but the older I get, the more and more I do respect Texas Chainsaw, because it is one of those films that feels like it just gets better every year.
Yeah, and I think when I was watching, I was just making sure I had the date right, because I was like, what was it, like 82, 79, something like that? and just to think about... When I think of movies from the 60s, I think about like Jimmy Stewart and It's a Wonderful Life. Even though It's a Wonderful Life is made in like 1946, when I hear the 60s, I think of black and white movies. And to think that like you're going from Dr. Strangelove to this is like, oh my God. That's my case. I cannot tell you what you're going to say that's going to change my mind. But best of luck, nerd.
All right. So let's go ahead and fast forward to 2003. I have gone to a movie theater. First thing I see when I walk in is a gigantic poster for the Alamo to really set the mood. I'm sitting there with some buddies and I go, well, I watched the original one. This one will probably be okay. It's not gonna be that bad. I'm good. I've been watching a lot of horror movies. I'll be all right. What I didn't know about the 2003 Texas Chainsaw is that they basically fast forward this movie. How Texas Chainsaw 03 works is they take what Shaun talked about with the hitchhiker, and instead of making the hitchhiker a part of the family, they make it somebody who has escaped this new family. And you think in your head that it can't be as bad. There's no way this new family can take over and be worse than the original family, but it is, because you find out from the girl who had escaped that she was trying to get out of there and they were going the wrong way back, and she pulls a pistol out of an area that you do not expect. And let me tell you, when that happened in the theater, holy cow, people were like, oh, what? And then you get one of the craziest shots that I've ever seen in a movie. This woman shoots herself, and then the camera pans all the way out through the hole in her head. So when you see that, and you have this new group who just had somebody die in their truck or in their van, and you're thinking, okay, well then how are they gonna get to the house now? So after all the new stuff has happened with the hitchhiker, you're watching this film and thinking, where's Leatherface? We finally get to the house and we get our first kill from Leatherface. And this door opens up and you see this huge, dirty, rotting face mask on this gigantic character who is just the most intimidating thing that you have ever seen.
Okay, now that's great, but here's why 74 is better. Obviously, you're in a bad way because you got the remake into the stick, right? So we know that this door thing's probably happening. But in 74, he's casually walking around. There's no music. He stumbles. While he's stumbling, Leatherface just walks into the shot. It was almost like Leatherface was going to catch him and help him, right? And then you get this green flesh mask with the red contrast background. The camera not changing. And it just being some plain old shot and him hitting him and shutting the door. It's far more effective than the more intentional camera cuts of 2003.
You know, that's a good point, but the only problem with that is after that happens, you don't see that Leatherface take that person's face and create a mask with it and then wear it later on.
Oh man, that is pretty
You see,
cool.
The problem with this is yeah, you know what? You're onto a pretty good point there, but Leatherface doesn't take that guy's face off and then chase the loved one later on.
But also in 2003, you see Leatherface without the mask.
You still have a moment with Leatherface in the original to where you get that connection with him by himself. Whenever he's sitting in the corner and he's licking his teeth, he just doesn't take his mask off. If we're comparing the Leatherfaces here, this Leatherface is way more aggressive in every way, with the chases and how he's swinging around the chainsaw, the way that he just does not care about anything that is in his way. He is basically a wrecking machine in this whole movie. Like, I guarantee you if they would have let him, he probably could have just ran through a wall, no problem. In the end, like, whenever you really think about like the comparisons of the two Leatherfaces, I feel like OG Leatherface is kind of like a kid. He probably wouldn't have attacked him if they didn't get on his property. And in the remake, it doesn't matter. Like, the people that came through this town, they're dying. But going back onto this Leatherface, I do want to talk more about how whenever he takes off the mask, the special effects that they did put on his face look very good, with the missing nose and how he's just kind of like, you can tell that like all of his face is starting to rot. Every scene in this movie is wet and it's gross and it's grimy. As soon as they enter the house, everything about this house just seems dirtier somehow than 74, which it shouldn't.
All right, so do you think that the production design of 03 is better than 74?
I have to say that whenever I think of the two movies, when I think of OG Chainsaw, I think of whenever she goes into that room with all the bones and the chickens fluttering everywhere. And then I think about the dinner scene, of course. When I think about the 2003 movie, the first thing that comes into my head is whenever you first talk to the guy who's in the wheelchair and he has that water on, and that water is like a paste that's coming out of the faucet, that like weird, like tannish color water that's coming out, and the look that you just gave whenever I talked about it. And that's why I do think that I might like the production a little better on the new one.
Yeah.
And then after you get out of the house and you get done with Leatherface and you're thinking, oh man, it can't get worse than this, you have Sheriff Hoyt, who's a new character that gets added in. You don't know a lot about him except for he's the sheriff of this town. He shows up to get the body and he makes all these weird comments about the body, and whenever you're wrapping it up and he's making fun of him and he's cracking these jokes and you just hate him. Everything about him, you just go, oh, this guy's horrible. But he's got the body now, so at least he's leaving. And then he comes back, and there's never a point of view that thinks that he's gonna be the good guy, but there is a point that she got away from Leatherface. She's back at the van. He's shown up. Maybe something different's gonna happen here. But then he finds the joint. So Morgan's in the back with the sheriff.
I will say Jonathan Tucker acts his ass off in this movie.
He does. He does
God
a phenomenal job in this movie. And he's in the back and he's putting the pistol in his mouth. And then he pulls the gun on the sheriff. And while he's doing this, he's still spitting up like vomit as he's talking to the sheriff. And he pulls the trigger and the sheriff's like, that's manslaughter. And he takes him, he puts him in the car with him, and you thinking, okay, like, here's our villain. It's over. It can't get any worse. And then he busts his front teeth out and laughs about it because he's missing them too. Whenever all this is happening and you're seeing Leatherface with Kemper's face on now kill Pepper,
which happens off screen. Thank you very much. It happens.
You don't need it to be on screen because whenever it cuts through, all of the stuff inside of the jacket flies off, and you get this amazing scene of the feathers falling down and Aaron realizing that it's Kemper's face that he's wearing now.
It's an off-screen kill.
It doesn't have to be on screen though, because you get to see what Leatherface looks like, and it makes it even more terrifying because the violence is on the mask now. The violence is you thinking about him tearing off his face. Oh, and if you want to talk about an off-screen kill, what happened to the driver of the van in the original? He just gets hit on the head and he just disappears.
Yeah, he's
Leatherface doesn't even know where he is.
He's down in the basement. He's hurting big time.
Apparently not, because Leatherface is freaking out. He doesn't even know where he went.
He crushed him with a 20-pound sledgehammer, man. He was down.
To kind of get to an issue that I do have is, while they're at the slaughterhouse, you have this awesome chase. I thought that she was just going to hit him with a door, and it was just going to be like she ran out and got away. But she comes out with the biggest meat cleaver I've ever seen in my life, and she lops off Leatherface's arm. And it sucks so bad because
he screams like a bitch, dude.
And he starts freaking out about his arm on the ground, trying to grab it, and it's just spinning around. And the issue is that this guy does so well as Leatherface that you want to see him again, and now you realize that you're not going to be able to unless it's in a prequel.
Doomed to prequels forever. See, my movie got sequels, good ones. Okay, so
good ones.
You just
you want to talk about those sequels? Because let me tell you, I've seen a lot of them, and they're not exactly great.
Texas Chainsaw Next Generation is an immortal classic. And Renee Zellweger.
No.
Okay.
But going back to where we're at, I do forgive it a little bit because you do have the trucker who shows up, which I'll give you. The trucker in the original is better than the trucker in this one as well.
That's Buddy Garrity from Friday Night Lights, Grayson. You better show some respect.
It is indeed.
My trucker makes your trucker look like a total loser, dude.
Yes, he does. But you have Leatherface who shows back up, who's still swinging a chainsaw. It's just one-armed in the rain. And then you get awesome found footage at the end, which did disturb me. Whenever I saw it in theaters, it was very scary. The way it was shot, the noise that's going on in the background, how they're slowly walking down the steps, and then Leatherface just pops up, and it says this is the last shot of Leatherface. So the way that this one ends, I do enjoy it a little more than the original for me personally.
No!
I do. For me, I think that they're both great endings. It's just I like that black and white on Leatherface at the end and how it really makes his mask look even more messed up and gross.
More than him wailing in the sunset?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I'm not saying that the shot at the end of the original isn't iconic and isn't amazing, but I do kind of like the 03 one just a little bit more. And, you know, it could change in the next couple of years. I don't know. But at the moment, whenever I think about it, I just go, man, it just makes me want to have like a found footage style, like Texas Chainsaw now. Like it makes it feel so real. You wouldn't watch it, would you?
Oh man, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy cool. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, I think for me, whenever you look at it, I just love how brutal and how angry this movie is, and that's why I love it so much.
How do you decide what's better here? I think it's like, which one do you say somebody should watch for the first time?
03. The only reason why is I think that with us growing up, it was the parents really had fun with making it like Texas Chainsaw was real.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was told to me. With 03, you don't have that. 03 is just like, here you go. And with the internet and everything, you can't have it be like, oh yeah, this really happened. I know it's based on Ed Gein, but Ed Gein didn't run around with a chainsaw.
I can just see me sitting down a 28-year-old friend and being like, watch 1974, and then being like, what is this? What's going on? Right? But with 03,
it's a fast forward version of Texas Chainsaw is what it is. It is everything that was in the original sped up. And then with the original, like the opening's kind of slow, and then you get the hitchhiker, and then there's a little bit of a lull, and then you get Leatherface showing up, and then it just goes. With a remake, it's you get the hitchhiker, then you get a little bit of a lull, then Leatherface shows up, and it just kind of just blows up from there.
I think I would concede in that 03 is the one to watch, but I would say that Act 3 of the original is like a 12 out of 10, and the Act 3 of 03 is like a 7.
I can't argue with you.
I think I pick 03 because of that basement, that dripping, miserable basement with Jonathan Tucker with a hole in his back sitting in a bathtub,
and the other friend that's basically crucified up there
with a salted stump. Okay, well, I'll give it to you. Even though I would rather watch the original, I will say Texas Chainsaw 03 is the better film. You know what you win, Grayson?
What? I'll tell you what I win. I win a video of you and I talking about Texas Chainsaw 4.
Oh no. 500 thumbs up, and we will make a full review of Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. 500 thumbs up. Do it, babies. If you think that Grayson is a moron, say it in the comments. But also say, but he sure is handsome, though. Because
hey,
I'm right.
And if you think that we're both two sweet boys, make sure to put that down in the comments as well. Go check out our video over the Evil Dead movies and the survivability. We had a lot of fun making that. We think you'll enjoy it as well. I'm going to put it right over here on Sean's face. I'm tired of it being on mine.